Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Mexico City. I'm finally back here in Mexico City and the city feels very different compared to when I arrived here almost 3 months ago. So as you might be able to pick up in the background, it's much more lively, so yeah, it's pretty good for street photography. And the sun is about to set pretty soon and I thought maybe I should go out and shoot an episode at night here. And with this one, with my Leica M6 and a 35mm Voigtländer lens. And of course, the perfect film for this kind of scenario is CineStill 800t. So this is my last roll of 800t that I have, and I'm going to shoot it here. More about settings, how I rate it and stuff, as always, later on in the video. And I would say, without further ado, 800t, Mexico City, let's go.
Developing and scanning was kindly provided by Carmen Sita Film Lab. If you want to check them out, the link will be in the description box down below. I think the best time to shoot CineStill 800t is in the twilight when it's not yet fully dark. Then you'll get a nice mixture between natural ambient light and some artificial lighting, preferably tungsten. Unfortunately, the time window for this magic to happen is very narrow and you'll need to be in the right spot at the right time. Any of you remember this guy?
Now you might be wondering what kind of settings you have to dial in to get these lovely results out of CineStill 800t. Well, this is a question I get all the time, especially when shooting street photography at night. And in the end, it's very simple. I mean, on this guy here, I was shooting everything wide open at f1.7. You have to basically use the widest aperture you have available, and at this point it's f1.7. I was not metering for any scene whatsoever because you need as much light as possible to hit the film. So I was shooting at, like I said, f1.7, and that's also a reason I did not zone focus. So I was focusing every single shot through the rangefinder. And the shutter speeds, they ranged, for instance, the second shot in this video where I shot these police officers, I went down to 1/8 of a second because it was very dark, and 1/8 is, I think, the slowest shutter speed. I'm comfortable in an environment where things might be moving, so I use that. Other than that, when it was brighter, I maybe went up to 1/60th, but that was the fastest shutter speed that I picked in this episode. So, like I said, in the end, it's pretty basic, and also this film was not pushed, nothing. So I wasn't rating the film, I wasn't metering, I just dialed in the slowest shutter speed that I thought in this moment I could get away with and shot everything wide open, and that's about it. This park is usually very busy during the daytime, and it was cool to see that even at night there was a lot going on, and it could be a good spot to shoot at night on a regular basis. In case you're wondering, it's located right in the city center and it's very easy to find. When shooting film at night, especially when not using a flash, you pretty much rely on stationary subjects because of the slow shutter speeds you have to use. It's a limitation, but it can still work just fine.
porque así como es un brazo, Señor. A Dios le da asco todo esto, Dios le da asco, alaba al Señor el pecado. Tienes que purificarte, tienes que quebrantarte en la presencia de Dios, alabanza, Señor. Conocer que el Rey de la Gloria te está esperando, buscar de la gloria, alabanza, Señor. Conocer, alabanza, buscar de la gloria de Dios, esperar en su presencia, de la rodilla, conocer de Él, alabanza, Señor. Cuán bueno, cuán delicioso habitar en la presencia de Dios, es hermoso, maravilloso, no hay palabra, no hay
Alright guys, that's it for the shooting part of the video. Don't forget to check out one of my street photo cuisines, or both of them. In here there's also some shots with the 800t and the Hasselblad X-Pan, and this one was also shot on a tungsten-based film, but not the 800t. It's basically the equivalent from Kodak, the Vision 3. In this case, it's the 200t. So yeah, like I said, now we're going to check out the prints, my favorite prints from this episode. And as always, you can win one of these prints. The only thing you need to do is, as always, leave a comment below this video. In the first 24 hours this episode goes live, and you will get a nice print that you can pick. You can pick whatever photo you want from this episode, and you will get a nice fine art print from this photo sent to you for free worldwide. Alright guys, let's check out the prints. Alright guys, here are my favorite prints from this episode. Unfortunately, I ordered the wrong size, so they're a little bit smaller than they usually are, but I think for this purpose it still works. Alright, here's the first one, and I mean, you probably recognize this one from another episode that I shot in the daytime. It's the same guy dressed up as Pennywise here. And I like the scene, I like the moment. It looks a little bit creepy, I have to say. The Pennywise with the kids. I mean, if you know the movie, then yeah, you know why. And also I like that there's, you can see it's just shortly after sunset. The sky is not dark, it's still very bright. But still, you have already here the tungsten lights turned on, and you have like the flares or whatever you can call this. From the CineStill, from removing the ramjet layer. I think overall this works pretty well, and I also like the colors. The colors in here are really nice. I have to say, shooting CineStill at night, if you expose it correctly, then you will get some really cool colors. So this is first one. All right, next one that I took in the park is of this skateboarder here. There's a lot of motion blur going on. The focus is of course not spot on because he was moving pretty fast, so it's really hard to focus, especially at night. But still, overall, I think this works pretty well. You can spot what's going on, and I like the colors and the foreground. Everything here is pretty bright, so he stands out a lot. And then there's all these nice colors in the background, all these lights. I think this works as well pretty nicely. All right. This scene here, I saw this car and the people sitting in there lit up by the light inside the car, and I thought this might be a cool shot, so I took it. And also there's because it's pretty much like a backlit scene, there's all these lights from the cars in the back, and I think this gives it a specific mood, I have to say. And also you have here these highlights around bright light sources that are red. That's very typical for the 800t. I think here this works very well. All right, this shot here, the last one from that I shot in the episode of this woman behind. I mean, it almost looks like she's in prison, and she was on the phone. And shortly after I took the photo, she spotted me and she smiled, so she was not creeped out or anything. And I mean, I think in the video it's really hard to see that there's a person from the perspective of the action camera, but I mean, in the photo you can clearly see it. So yeah, I think this also works pretty well. All right, I picked this photo because I like the scene. I like that there's these people over here and also dressed in red, like the mannequin, or what do you call them? Dummies, the dummies over here. And yeah, I mean, this works pretty well. And also, these dummies are faceless. They have no face, like these masked up people also. So it's pretty much like what the world is right now. So I think this shows this pretty well, and that's why I picked this photo. And when I saw the scene, I was thinking about this already when I saw like they're faceless and they are faceless too. So yeah, I think this could be my favorite. I think this might be my favorite from this episode because of the reason I just told you. Next one, this was also a strong contender to be my favorite. I like this overall, like the scene, like the red light, and it's like it's highlighted from this this glow around it, and all these red lights in the background. I think that makes the scene. And here, I had to wait for the people that were crossing the road to step out of the frame. Otherwise, they would have interfered with the subject and all these lights. So I think it was worth waiting to get a better composition and overall make the image look a little bit nicer. And for the prints that you can win, these will be they will have a nice border, and not they will not be as messed up as this one. So here in this case was my fault, but the one you will receive will look better. Alright guys, that's it for today's episode. I have to admit the 800t is absolutely lovely, and in Mexico City I would have loved to shoot more of it, but unfortunately that was the only roll I had left, and there was no way I could get more. I mean, maybe I could have, but the prices were through the roof. I think equivalent to like $20, $25 or something. It's absolutely insane. So I don't know. I don't want to spend that kind of money on 800t. But nevertheless, it was good fun shooting 800t in Mexico City. Yeah, as always, guys, if you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. And we will see each other very soon in the next one. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.